Hi guys. Hello. Welcome to my Facebook Live video. Um, oh, okay. So, I'm sorry. I'm getting used to Facebook's new thing and like I can kind of see myself in the corner. It's really weird. It's like a little lag. But anyways, um, welcome. As promised, today I'm switching it up. I'm going to do a book review on the lemon jello syndrome. Yes. So, I'm super excited to talk about this book by Man Martin. One, because I just finished it, and two, it's one of those books that was on that list of things that, not necessarily things I should have read, but things that were assigned to me in school. Although the professor who assigned this kind of switched out with a different professor later, so we didn't have to read it, but it's a pretty good book. But I'll talk about this in a minute. I'm going to wait until a few more people get up here to delve into why I really enjoyed the lemon jello syndrome. So before I delve into that, I just want to take some time to say like how grateful I am that during this time of quarantine, like I'm still happy, healthy, and safe. I really love that. I'm very grateful that my job didn't have to do any firing or whatever. Since I work for the government, I'm able to telework, and so like I'm just super grateful for that, as well as for my coworkers and colleagues. They've just been like so awesome through this whole thing. So I just want to take like a minute to like really appreciate that and say what I'm grateful for. I think that's really important to do right now, especially since for a lot of people this is like a time of uncertainty. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just so grateful. Yeah. So that's that. And I'm also really grateful that like taxes were pushed back. I'm looking at my tax documents. I'm still missing like one or two. So I'm grateful for that too. Because if it wasn't for that, then like I'd only have 4 days to file, and that filing, yeah, wouldn't be getting done on time. Anywho, so that's what I'm grateful for right now. I don't know how many of you follow me on Instagram, but if you're following me here on Facebook, then you probably have seen the same post that I post on my Instagram. So this particular week, I've been doing a lot of posts about, well, not even this week, this whole month has been just me posting about like books that I really enjoy, and like, you know, it's kind of like under certain things, like books that make me sad, or books that make me happy, books that make me laugh, books with songs in the titles or numbers or whatever, stuff like that. So like this whole month I've been doing that. So I thought it was only fitting that I did a book review as well. And so when I was looking at all the books on my list, I was like, well, I don't think the lemon jello syndrome actually fits in any of these categories. But since I'm almost finished reading it, I should actually do like a book review on it. So it made sense to me to do that this month. Because I was already doing reviews of books, more or less. Anyways, so this joy here, it's like I'm one of those people who I will read multiple books at one time. And sometimes I misplace my books. This one, like I had read part of it, and then I misplaced this book for like, I want to say a few months, and then I picked it up again, and I misplaced it again for like a year. Maybe not a year, maybe it was like 6 months. But anyways, the point is, after like a year and a half or so, I finally finished this book. And it's not that it was a bad book, it's just that I kept misplacing it because I've moved at least 2 or 3 times since I've had this book, so it only makes sense that it would probably get lost at some point. I don't know. Anywho, this book is called The Lemon Jello by Man Martin. I'll read the little back excerpt for you just to kind of give you an idea, and then we'll jump right into it. So sometimes Bone King cannot go through doors. His brain and muscles simply can't seem to recall to walk him through. Perhaps it has something to do with his being distracted by thinking about grammar and etymology all the time. Or maybe it's anxiety that his wife is having an affair with the yard man. Renowned neurologist Arthur Lemongello offers a highly peculiar diagnosis along with an even more eccentric cure. So that's the little blurb on the back. So I'm not going to ruin how this book ends, but I just wanted to point out that if you love books, if you love words, if you like grammar, then like Lemon Jell Syndrome is definitely the book for you. It's got like a really interesting way that it's broken up. So like any other book, it has chapters, 26 to be exact. And based off the back, you can tell that the character in this book, he really enjoys words and etymology and grammar. Much like me, much like a lot of the people that I know. But anyways, so each chapter is a letter. So we start off with chapter 1 being the letter A. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that. Yes, A. And the book goes all the way through to Z, which for obvious reasons, those chapters get smaller and smaller, because if you ever look at a dictionary, and they kind of explain this somewhere in the book, like when you look at a dictionary, like you have like A through, I want to say like P, like A through P, you have like all of these wonderful words between A through P. And then you get the Q through Z, and like it's like every section of the dictionary gets smaller and smaller all the way to Z. So I think that's kind of like how they set up this book, is like when you get to like, I want to say R maybe. Yeah, I want to say when you get to like chapter, not even chapter, but I don't know, maybe U. Maybe even T. Yeah, by the time you get to U, the U chapter, like, this is like the other chapters. And this is U through Z, so that's not much at all. Anyways, I like this book for a lot of reasons. So that's one reason, is because it does the alphabet like A through Z, which I think is a very fascinating way to break up the sections of a book. I also really like that, like, at the beginning of each of these chapters, we're going to go back to A, so that's not too many spoilers. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the cam, guys. You'll be right. Okay, so you'll see, like, on A, they, like, tell you where the symbols come from. There we go. Where the symbols come from and, like, what the Greek word originally meant. And then it gives you, like, a few words that start with A, like in the case of this, they do alpha and omega, alphabet, and a tone. So I like that you kind of get like a vocab lesson out of this as you're going. And I never realized like how Greek letters really all look alike. Like anybody who reads Greek, I kind of have to be jealous of them now, because I'm just like, all of these little symbols pretty much look the same to me. But I like that the author, Man Martin, does this because it's a unique way. I've read other authors that do unique things. Like one of my posts was about Bright Lights, Big City. That book is completely written in second person, which I think is like a really unique way to organize a book. I also have a copy, also lost, of another book where the author just kind of has like these hodgepodge pages of like letters and then just like chapters, and like some of the chapters are like half a page and other chapters are like a whole 10 pages. It just depends on. So books that have like really unique structuring, they kind of catch my eye. I can't promise that I'll always love them, but this one is definitely one of the ones that I do love. So that's one thing. The other thing that I like about this book is that the character in it, his name is Bone, but it's not just Bone. His name is Bone King, and I was like, the author missed so many opportunities with a name like that. Like, if you give your character the name Bone King, like, I don't know. I feel like there's some missed opportunities in here. But that's just me. So, sorry guys, I'm like looking at this. I know you probably would have noticed it, but I did. Anyways, so lots of missed opportunities with the name like Bone King. In my books, I try to give my characters like names that mean things. So like I try to make it be like, oh, haha, I mean, not always, but like I feel myself doing it subconsciously, because when I go back and read my work, I'm like, ho, I did this thing and it was smart, and I, as the author, know all, end all, be all, and did really interesting things with the names of my characters. And that's one thing that I kind of felt sad with. Like, he has these great character names and then he doesn't do anything with them. Like, okay, anyways, so more about this book. So Bone King is our main character. Bone is a very interesting guy. He's working on this, I want to call it a memoir. It's essentially his dissertation. He's working on a dissertation. It's called Words. Bone is also a professor at a university. And while he is a professor at this university and working on his dissertation, he is also married to a woman named Mary. Mary King. Again, many lost opportunities. Anyways, so he and his wife Mary King live in this quaint little home. They have this nice gardener named Cash, who also happens to live across the street. And so like the story is really about like Bone navigating that. But then also, one day, he just finds out that he can't go through a door. So he sets up this appointment with Dr. Lemon Jello, which, no, it's not spelled Lemon Jello, like on the title. Like, Dr. Lemon Jello in the book is actually Limongello. But I guess the author, Man Martin, decided that it would be easier if he spelled it out Lemon Jello, so that you can never forget how to say the doctor's name. Anyway, so Bone can't go through these doors. He's worried about as it said in the back of the blurb, he's worried about his wife and this gardener of theirs named Cash. And so this is all kind of happening at the same time. So he sets up this appointment, but he gets there, he is about to go into the appointment, and then he just leaves before he sees the doctor. But then he runs into the doctor on his way out of the patient center. And so when he runs into the guy, the author's like, you know what? No, I'm sorry, not the author. The character, Dr. Lemongello, he's like, you know what? I think I know what your problem is. And so he gives Bone some interesting ways to combat his problem of not being able to get through doors. Unfortunately, getting through doors and worrying about his wife sleeping with the gardening guy or the neighbor is like not even all of his issues. He also can never stop thinking about words. So there's this really interesting chapter in which he goes to church and he says some words to the preacher, or priest. I think he's actually a priest. Anyways, he says some words to the guy, and it comes off as offensive. But like being inside Bone's head, you're like, oh, I get where he's coming from, but a normal person would not. So why would he say this? And he does it nervously. So that guy turns out to not really. He already didn't like Bone, so he really doesn't like him after that. Anyways, so I don't want to give. It's really hard for me to like not recommend books, but it's really hard for me to talk about a book that I like without giving too many spoilers. I have a really difficult time doing that because I want you to like the book and read the book as much as I liked and read the book, but I don't want to do it in a way where like it takes out all the fun discoveries for you. But like I was saying, like this whole word thing, etymology, it's a common issue with Bone. And what I really like is that Man Martin, when he wrote this book, he really considered who his character was, and he enveloped his whole character's persona around his character's quirks. So as you're reading it, I just want you to think about how, like, okay, yes, these are the problems that the character faces, but man, how great is it that, like, his issues are all rooted in his personality. And even issues that you might not think are rooted to his personality, they are. And then it just kills you because you're like, man, if only he could realize what I realized, he'd be much better off. And I think that's also a part of the reading experience. Like, we notice things that happen to other people and how it affects them, and we can give advice to other people all day. But at the same time, we are so clueless when it comes to our own lives. And so I think that's really the message that Man Martin gives with the Lemon Jell syndrome. Some of the people who reviewed this book with the blurbs in the back, they're like, oh, it's witty and funny. It is witty and funny. But it's also like really digging into human condition, which I think one person mentioned, but I just feel like all of them should have mentioned it. This book really delves into the human condition, and I really appreciated that. The thing that I did not like about the book, though, was the ending. I got what the author was going for. Like, I understood why he ended it that way, but at the same time, I was like, Man Martin, why? Why did you end it like this? There are so many other ways you could have ended it that would have given the same type of results. I just felt disappointed, I guess. Yeah, I felt disappointed at the end of the book. He had all this great build-up, all this great stuff going on, and like it's like you're reading the book and Man Martin's like pulling out all these punches. Then you get to the end and it's like, oh, match is over, guys. Bye. Man Martin. Also, can we take a moment to appreciate how cool it is that the author's name is Man Martin? How many people do you know named Man? I know like one or two people named Guy, but Man? Yeah. Anywho. I think the other thing that I didn't like, and it's not so much that I didn't like it, I just didn't like Mary, his wife, Mary King Bones' wife. Like, she was not my favorite character in this book, and like I just didn't like her. But at the same time, I think that's like a mark of like how good this book was, because Man Martin created this character that I just obstinately hate. Like, I hate her character. She's just a terrible person, in my opinion. I won't say why. You'll find out when you read it. But she's just so god awful. But I also really like that about this book, that he has characters that are like complex and deep, and you read them and you can relate to them, but at the same time you're like, yo, that's not cool. Why did you do that? Why would you do this? Stop doing the things. So I really like that. I also really liked Dr. Lemon Jell as a character. You'll understand what this smile is about later. But yes, I liked Dr. Lemon Jell. He is a very eccentric character. Both times you meet him, all of the times you meet him, he is just an interesting character. I don't know, just something about his methods I like interesting. But yeah, I guess the last thing that I want to talk about in regards to this book is the notion that if you're having trouble getting through a door, Like, apparently the solution is to square dance. And let me just show you guys, like, they actually, when they wrote this book and decided to publish it, they actually took the time to show you how to square dance. Yes, I don't know how well you can see that, but they took the time to show you how to square dance in order to get through a door. Like, how crazy is that? Now me, I am not coordinated. So, me trying to do this would just be a huge mistake. So, if I had more, but you know, if I had more space, I probably would do it just to show you how inept I am at doing the square dancing. But I don't have enough room where my camera is situated at, so you guys don't get the joy of seeing that today. Maybe another time. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say. I guess I can read like a portion of it for you guys. Let me see if I can find like a really funny section that'll hopefully convince you to like get this book and read it. Like, I think it's great. I'm sorry I didn't think about like what to read out loud earlier. I'm trying to find a part that made me laugh that's close to the front. So, let's see. Maybe in like the first time it happens. Let me see. Oh wow, I didn't notice that before. Okay, yeah, let's just do like the whole first chapter, guys. Let's just read the whole first chapter. I think that'd be great. Okay. Oh, well, with the exception of definitions. I'm not going to read out the definitions for this Lemon-Jello syndrome book. Okay. The night before being struck by the Lemon-Jello syndrome, his private nickname for his terrible, incapacitating illness, Bum King taught Wednesday night composition 1101 at Folsom College with an unease with which it has rarely been taught. When reminding his students that the object of a proposition could never be a subject, he spoke as if it came as a personal tragedy. Suspecting your wife of infidelity, and only suspecting, if my wife is cheating, is a subordinate clause that wrings the heart like a mop until there is a decorative sentence to complete it. The clock by the door told him motion by motion when Mary would be coming home from Grace Church and changing to go out to Jelly Jam, now letting herself in the kitchen door, now making the orbit from kitchen to bedroom to bathroom, changing from work clothes, getting ready to leave, putting perfume behind her ears? Born in the Tennessee back hills, Bone was an unlikely candidate to become a scholar. He could quote Seneca in Latin, but he was haunted by the dread that he'd never really overcome his pronunciation of pen, P-I-N, for pen, P-E-N, nor lose that weighty one-word imperative, Geyan Awahaya, he'd once used against hound dogs in the kitchen or chickens on the front porch. Though monkish solitude and delicately study, he'd climbed the greasy trunk of academia. Isn't it academia? I just realized that. Like, don't you love when you find mistakes in other people's books? It's so fascinating to me. Okay, sorry. The greasy trunk of academy. Maybe that's how you say it. And published his master's thesis, Misplaced Modifiers. I have my own master's thesis, guys. It's almost ready, so just check that out too. Which had won first place for books in grammar and usage in the Southeast. His further accent seemed a foregone conclusion, but the struggle had cost him. Wherever he went, a silent inner voice went also a running commentary on usage and etymology. Mary had once loved his dreaminess, but now complained he didn't pay enough attention. Do they ever?
The truth was he paid too much, only never to the right things. Sometimes he'd wondered if this weren't a sign of mild lunacy, but then he'd spot in Luna-C the ghostly lexical thumbprint of the moon, and with that he'd be off in another world. By the time he got home, the sun had set and it was dark. She was at the club. Chicken and rice on the counter, Mary's note said. He turned on the TV and listened from the kitchen as his dinner rotated, humming in the lighted window of the microwave. He sat in the recliner, plate in his lap, bathed in the vapor from his chicken and rice and the blue-white glow of Wednesday night reruns. A medical comedy with a hard-working, no-nonsense doctor, a wisecracking nurse, and a quirky patient with a strange diagnosis. That really reminds me of House, or, like Grey's Anatomy. I feel like Man Martin was watching one of those shows when he wrote this scene. After his solitary meal, Bone went to bed. Bone went to bed, guys. Mary, had another man touched that smooth white skin, her naked back where it tapered to her waist, a masculine hand, black hairs bristling around a heavy old-fashioned wristwatch, resting itself along the curve, 2 fingers lightly curled along the cleft. If I ain't know any better, I think this book was getting steamy, y'all. Bone noted, observed, and tagged the minutes passing on the glowing alarm clock as he lay alternating between sweats and shivers. At last, the front door opened. Boards creaked down the hall and into the bathroom. Flush, the shower ran, a toothbrush scrubbed, a drawer opened and closed. Mary, soap smell and scrubbed skin, eased into the covers beside him. Bone pretended to have just awoken. So, how was tonight? No response. How was Jelly Jam? It was great. She readjusted herself on her pillow. So, who else was there? Like a drowser surfacing reluctantly from a dream. Who else was there? A jelly bean. He hoped the whimsical substitution of bean for jam would evoke a smile. So, who was there? Oh, Laurel, Cindy Davis, Ruth, the usual. That's nice. He lay rigidly in bed. Did you run into anyone else? What? She turned toward him. Why are you asking all this? You're cross-examining me. Something hot settled in the back of Bone's throat. No, I'm not, he said, forcing a smile to the darkness. I'm just talking is all. Bringing up the next question was like push a stalled car over the crest of a hill. Was Cash there? Oh, Christ, Bone. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Why had he asked that? Bone's throat was dry and scorching hot. He was trembling. He ought to roll toward her, tuck his head into her neck, and lay his thigh over hers, his hand on her ribs, smell her hair, whisper, work has become a run-on sentence for me, with neither period nor semicolon. I am past tense, restless and incomplete in this world, a dependent clause, and you are the comma at which I rest. Conjugate with me and teach me the sweet syntax of your body. Yo, real quick pause. If my husband whispered these words to me, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'd probably think that was sexy, but that's just because I love words. So, those of you who have wives or a husband who are into like grammar and words and language, like, I implore you, get this book. Use these lines. That's sexy for this character. Anyways, was he there? If he wasn't there, just tell me. No, he wasn't there. She sighed in the crooked trapezoid of yellow moonlight falling over their bodies. He could feel as well as hear her lungs expand and expel. When my love swears that she is made of truth, I do believe her, though I know she lies. How wise Shakespeare was. He knew it all. Bone pretended to sleep and pretended not to know she was pretending also. Alright, guys. I said the whole chapter, but I just realized how long this chapter is, so I think that's actually a really great stopping point. Clearly, this is before he is unable to go through doors, but I really think that this section kind of does a good job of setting up, like, the premise of Lemon Jello and how it works, what Bone's life looks like. He's teaching, he's going home, he's
his wife's like, I'm gonna go out with my, the peeps. There's food in the fridge, whatever. He warms it up, and he's just sitting there doing his thing. And then when it's late, and she comes home. So I think that does a great job of setting up the dynamic between Bone and Mary and their relationship and how their life is going to work, and whatnot. And so, like I said, that one little paragraph, like, super steamy. I mean, come on. You cannot get paid enough for words like, what is it? I've already lost the page, guys. But, I mean, come on, guys. Like, I am past tense, restless and incomplete in this world, a dependent clause, and you are the comma at which I rest. Conjugate with me and teach me the sweet syntax of your body. Man, Martin, that's probably the best line. Like, this whole little section, that's the best section in the whole book, I think, actually, personally. Anyways, so that's my review of Lemon Jell Syndrome, with an excerpt of the first section of the first chapter. I hope I didn't give away, well, I know I didn't give away any spoilers, but I hope that I did do a good job of just kind of showing you, like, what you're getting into if you do this book. So that's my 30 some odd minutes for today, and I can't see where I have any comments, so I guess that's it for today, guys. My 3 or 4 people who are usually up here did not come to join me today, but that's okay. I am currently working on a plan to where I actually move these types of videos to YouTube, and so I'm hoping that by next month, and if not next month, then the following one, but really hoping by next month, these videos here will no longer be like 30 some odd minutes of me just like talking on live, because again, I think this is like super awkward. And so I'm hoping to start shooting videos, posting them on YouTube, and then transitioning my Facebook Live to just being like a comment only type deal, so that I don't have, hey Michelle, thank you. Anyways, I'm hoping to move this to YouTube, to do videos on YouTube, so you guys can kind of like watch and hear what I have to say. And then this can be more of an open forum for questions and stuff, so that when I say, hey, does anyone have questions, you guys aren't kind of like, I'm bored, scroll on phone. Because I feel like that's a lot of what happens. So, yeah, that's it for today. Guys, go get this book. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still learning the camera. Go get this book. This is like a pretty legit book that I just finished reading. Now I'm reading The Continent. I can't promise that I will do another book review anytime soon. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. If I do, it might be on Odd One Out. It might be on The Continent. I'm kind of reading both because, again, I'm one of those people that reads like 10 books at the same time. Don't forget, I do have a Patreon page if you're interested in that. I do also have a website if you're just interested in visiting that. And I've got 2 books out right now. The third one I'm in the process of writing, but I'm hoping that the next time we meet up here, I can show you guys the new cover for book 3, because I'm super excited about it. But I'm still waiting to get edits back from my photographer, aka my husband. Oh, thank you. I cannot read your name. I'm sorry about that, but I love you too. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I will be back 2 weeks from now, hopefully, as long as this, yeah, I'll be back 2 weeks from now. Bye. Oh, wait, hold on, I can't go yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, bye.